Yeah, we're talking about mobile games.
Yep, I'm finally getting around to doing a video about Sonic mobile games. I could do a video on its console games or PC games, but right now we'll just do mobile games. There is a lot of mobile games. A lot of them you can actually still access to this day. Some has been shut down. I won't be able to cover all of them, especially its Java games. Believe me, there's a lot of Java games for this blue hedgehog. But for now, we'll cover its mobile games. And we are not going to be covering any collaborations like the Minecraft DLC that you're actually seeing right now. No, we'll be covering the mobile games you can actually download and play from Sega themselves. Alright, here we go. Let's keep this short, basically a lightning round. The mobile ports of Sonic 1, 2, and CD were done by Christian Whitehead and Hand Cannon, at least for mobile devices, back around 2011. If you're a Sonic fan, you know about the history regarding these games, the development, everything. That's why I'm going to keep this segment short, mainly because I have opinions for other games I want to actually focus on. But I'm going to keep it simple, these games are good, and the console ports for these are pretty good, but I'm mostly talking about Sonic Origins. Alright, let's continue. Alright, you know Sonic Advance, right? The GBA game, published by Sega THQ and developed by DIMS. You know that game, right? It got a port on mobile devices, and it's actually a pretty good port of the game. It is Sonic Advance, so if you know the game inside out, you'll be able to basically breeze right through the game. I have actually never played Sonic Advance at all. I didn't have a GBA back then, but overall, my experience of the game is actually pretty good. So if you know where to find it, it's actually a pretty good game. This is, however, the only port of the Sonic Advance series to actually get a mobile port. Sonic Advance 2 or 3 never got that luxury, and this thing got ported like roughly 3 times, one by Sega, one by Gameloft, and one on the N-Gage of all systems. But hey, it's still a pretty good game, and the fact it got ported to 3 different devices all at the same time, well, at separate times, but it is pretty jarring to actually say the least. Now we're getting down to the real stuff. Alan, you remember Sonic the Hedgehog 4 episode 1 and 2, right? The most appalling Sonic games to release at that time. Yeah, a lot of people actually did not like these because they did not feel like the Sega Genesis games. The models were off, unless you bought a DLC on the consoles. Even off on mobile where they used the Rush models until they had to upgrade them to the models you see right now. These games weren't the best received and they're not the best games to play. But they are still good time wasters if you have these installed. They're pretty good time wasters, I'll say that. But yeah, the physics are way off. Mainly because they were specifically made for mobile devices and then ported up to consoles. And if you... These games are pretty good. Well, not pretty good actually. They are good time wasters. I don't have much to say on these, apart from if you bought Sonic 4 Episode 1, you unlock Episode Metal on Episode 2. Anyways, let's move on. Now this is the poster child for Sonic mobile games, Sonic Dash. The game that ranked over 100 million downloads and has a lot of events ranging from Hello Kitty to Pac-Man to even movie characters getting treatment on here. It is a pretty good mobile game, but it has changed a lot to go with the time of current mobile games. At the time, if you racked up enough rings and red rings, you can actually unlock characters. Now, you have to unlock them through buying cards to unlock them. It ain't bad if you like certain gacha games like that, but for me, unless you're shelling out a lot of money to unlock these characters, a lot of event characters you're actually not able to obtain right off the bat. Which sucks because I do like a lot of them, like Slugger Sonic, the movie designs for each character, especially with Shadow, they're all pretty good. But I don't actually get a lot of time to actually do any of these events, so yeah, that is basically off the table for me. But don't let that deceive you. This is actually a pretty good mobile game and a good time waster at that. I just wish that they want to go this route and allow us to actually attain them without having to do the whole gacha system for this game of collecting cards. Other than that, this is a fun mobile game and there is a ton of events that happens on this all the time. Like for example, at the time of me making this video, there's an event where you can unlock Movie Shadow and Movie Super Shadow for this game. There's also other events that happen, like the event when Sonic Lost Worlds actually came out, you were able to fight the boss Zavok from the game. And even more is yet to come. This is actually a fun mobile game. It's just littered with a bunch of microtransactions, gacha systems. It's just a whole lot for me to actually take in. But other than that, it's pretty fun, and I hope that Sega actually, change a lot of the aspects for this game. It could be a fun time waster, and it showed. It has a lot of downloads for this game. Anyways, let's move on to the other Sonic mobile games. Would you be surprised if I told you this was the most successful Sonic Boom game to ever exist? That's not an exaggeration either. This ranked them also a million downloads as well. This is Sonic Dash 2 Sonic Boom, the third Sonic Boom game that got released, fourth being Fire and Ice. Now this game is actually a lot similar to Sonic Dash, apart from two main aspects. The team up mechanic from Sonic Heroes and the other Sonic Boom games are present, in addition to the whole combo system. The more combos you do, the higher the score will be. Yeah, this is a thing that Sonic Dash later copied in an update. It is a pretty fun mechanic to all say the least, but it is still a Sonic Dash game and a Sonic Boom game. It does look pretty cool, apart from the whole design from Sonic with the blue arms. I really don't get a lot of companies wanting to make Blue Arm Sonic the default, but hey, it is something. If you're wondering my suggestion on the show is actually pretty good. Games, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next game in question. Sonic Jump. This is one of the many games that was made during the initial rise of Doodle Jump. It is a pretty good Sonic game, well, Sonic jumping game. It's standard move device left and right to control. You can tap again for a double jump, you can attack enemies, get collectibles, all that. It does have a story mode of you having to chase down Eggman to free all the other flakies that was captured by him. Apart from that, it's the normal jumping game that everyone seems to copy every single time whenever someone wants to make a game or something, but it is a pretty fun time waster and a good game, to be honest. But this also got a sequel as well. Sonic Jump Fever, the sequel to Sonic Jump. It was actually a pretty fun game when it came out. It didn't have a story mode or anything. Every time you wanted to go, you just hop in, play a level, and hop back out. It did have the aspect from other Sonic mobile games, getting like buddies to play during every single one. It was mainly games where it had a time limit for how long you could play every single level, and it did have an online server where at random it will change the level that you would play on. Like a few days you would be playing Green Hill Zone, the next you'd be playing the mountain level. It was just very random on what level you pick and for how long you'd be playing each level, because it'll be on a time limit. Sadly, however, the game would get later delisted. I don't know if it was like not pulling in as much revenue as Sega would like. And the servers would get shut down, which means if you will download it now, you'll be stuck on Green Hill Zone or whatever level that you were on. And also, any microtransactions, I don't know if they're still accessible or not, but they'll still show up. But other than that, it's still fun. If you have it, I say download it and experience for yourself what the game was like. Oh, and it has a whole upgrade system and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it's a fun game. And I hope that more people will actually talk about this one, because this did not have a whole lot of traction anywhere. But I wish to actually see this bring up again pretty soon. Yep, even the two premium Sonic Racing games got mobile ports as well. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I do have a little bit more to say about Transformed, but I'm gonna talk about the first one. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is a mobile port done in-house by Sumo Digital and ported by Sega. It is a pretty faithful racing game, but I do have one little gripe about it. The motion controls is not that good. It sucks, to be honest, but it does have an option for you to switch it to digital controls, and it works much better. It is a pretty good racing game, and I have played it a bunch when I got it on my DS, but overall, it is a fun mobile racing game, and I wish I had this sooner. Now let's talk about this one, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. At the time, this was actually a pretty fun racing game. We actually do have it on the Xbox. It's actually pretty fun. But the mobile port, is something else. The game still plays exactly fine the way it is, but it does have one major flaw that I don't like. You know how certain free-to-play games have a lot of microtransactions? Guess what price this game was released? For free. Which means it is crammed with a lot of microtransactions. And to top it all off, you can't play the full game without buying some of the packs for it, including the full game pack. And both Sonic and All-Stars Racing and All-Stars Racing Transformed were delisted. So good luck with that. But other than that, it's a pretty good mobile game, but if you want a true mobile transformed racing game, just get the game on PS Vita. Now let's talk about what I think is the best Sonic mobile game to exist, Sonic Runners. This was actually really fun and full of a lot of awesome content. It's a side-scrolling auto runner where you have to basically get as much points and rings as you possibly can. This also had a story mode with boss fights as well. And overall, it was a pretty fun game made by Sonic Team, Sega, as well as Hardlights for some of the aspects of the game, and it's pretty fun. Sadly, however, a few years ago, this game did get delisted and shut down, mainly because it was not a financial success. Let's take a comparison. This was competing with games like Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle and Puyo Quest, another Sega game. Guess which game outperformed Sonic? Well, it'll be both the Puyo game and the Dragon Ball game. So this game did not really have a leg to stand on. And it was full of a lot of microtransactions. Kind of predatory as well, with a roulette wheel where any special event characters were permanently locked to said roulette wheel. Same thing with the buddies as well. Now then, you might be asking, since the game was delisted, how was I able to get gameplay footage of it? Well, that's a special thing with fans. If they like a product a lot, they will try to recreate it or make mods for it. In this case, this got a full-blown revival server for it called Sonic Runners Revival. Still able to be downloaded and played today. I'll link the website down below in the descriptions But hey, if you like Sonic Runners or Sonic games in general, this is actually a pretty good game to play. Just note, on iOS, you'll have to jailbreak your system, but for Android users, it's very easy, since you're able to just do one thing, download the APK, install it, and play. Just note, there is a planned update that will make it compatible with newer devices. So if you have an old device by the time you watch this video, you might have to consider getting a new tablet or phone. This one, however, not a lot of people actually like. This is Sonic Runners Adventures, a recent Sonic Runners mobile game developed by Gameloft. This was originally released exclusively on the Gameloft store for certain territories. We are getting a full-fledged release on mobile devices, and it is not good. This game does not look good at all. The whole plastic design for every single asset of this game does not make well for it being a Sonic mobile game. Especially since, well, the one aspect for the designs for Sonic Runners is the fact that every single character, item, and enemy, as well as certain hazards, had a black outline for it so it didn't match with the background of the game. Guess what aspect was completely ignored for this game? So you could be playing it and realize that you couldn't see yourself because you were mixing well within the background. Especially with certain levels where it will be really hard to actually play through it, like playing through Tails on that Dusty Hills level, or Knuckles in the Power Lava level. It is not fun at all when you have to play Who's Waldo for every single character you play with. I was able to do it just fine in Green Hill Zone because, you know, the blue of Sonic did not blend with the blue of the waters, but it was a nightmare with Tails and Knuckles on Dusty Hill and Power Lava level. So, if you like this game, that's fine. For me, I'd rather go back to Sonic Runners than play this. And it sucks too, because you actually had to pay for this game, $2.99. I was lucky to get it on sale for 99 cents. But yeah, this is not a fun game at all. And that sucks comparing that I played a lot of Minion Rush, and that's probably a thing I should have not said at all, but this game, not fun at all. Now we have the biggest cash cow for Sonic mobile games ever made by Sega. Sonic Forces Speedballs. Nope, I am not calling it Sonic Forces or Sonic Forces Mobile. I'm calling it by its original names. You don't like that? Just put it in a bottle, dip to the sea, and I'll get back to you within 3 business days. Now, Sonic Forces Speedball is a racing auto runner game where every race you're pinned up against 3 other players have to race to the Fat Ruby to get a point to be first place. There is an active online tournament every season that happens, and there is some pretty good prizes to claim, like brand new characters, rings, red rings, the whole shebang for typical mobile games. Now, like I said, this is Sonic Forces Speedball, and this was originally released to promote Sonic Forces, a game that did not do well at all. And so, once Sega realized that this game was actually really successful, they dropped the whole Speedball moniker for the title and just called it by Sonic Forces. Without realizing a lot of people who actually play this did not realize that it's actually a mobile tie-in for a console game. When this game came out, this was actually pretty cool and a fun game to play. But nowadays though, yeah, I barely touch it. That isn't because of me not being super awesome at the game at all. It's just the fact that this game, well, has a lot of things going against it for me. For one, it has the whole gacha system where you get random cards for each character, and you have to collect a lot to unlock them. And it is littered to the brim with microtransactions. Some of it being borderline predatory, like, ooh, you want this special character? Well, you skipped out on the event, but to buy this Tails Pop, it's just one easy payment and you can get it all. I don't even have a lot of money at all to even obtain it. And there is a lot of cool events that happens, like, for instance, Movie Shadow from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Slugger Sonic, even Methless got a character on here. Methless the Dog from Sonic 06, the supposed called worst Sonic game of all time. Yeah, he has a character on this game. And I kinda don't want to touch this game because of all the microtransactions. For a lot of people that has a lot of money to spend on this game is basically the go-to. But for me, yeah, I would just stick to games I like Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic Dash. You thought we were done with there? Nope, there's actually one more Sonic mobile game that you can actually get on mobile devices. It is a pretty old mobile game as well. Alright, the oldest Sonic mobile game to exist on mobile devices, Sonic Jump. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is there two games named Sonic Jump? Well, you see, the Sonic Jump earlier was a remake. This is the original version, which also got released on Java mobile phones. You know, those old flip phones? It's basically the same thing, level by level, story about stopping Eggman, the whole shebang. This uses models and assets from Sonic Advanced, and was originally released in Japan before being released state-wise. Overall, exact same game, just old. If you want the Sonic Jump fix, Sonic Jump Pro is still available on mobile devices and is actively getting updated. But for people who want to feel old school and want to play old school, this is a pretty fun way to play it. Okay, I lied. There's one more Sonic mobile game to talk about, and this one's a pretty doozy one and has a pretty cool story. Well, pretty weird story to go along with it. This is the mobile game Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. The mobile version of Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo Olympic Games 2020. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is Sega releasing a Nintendo game on mobile? Well, if you see, there are official Nintendo mobile games already, but there is one easy way they could actually get around to releasing a Olympic Games without Mario. They just released it and removed any aspect of Mario to it. That, and of course, Sega had, at the time, the license to make officially licensed Olympic games. Up until 2023, when the contract later expired. But like I said, this is a fun mobile game. A lot of people don't actually say this about it. It is a lot similar to the arcade game of the same name. So that's something to think about. But it is a pretty fun mobile game to say the least, with a lot of the activities from the Olympics actually being represented in game form, and it's actually lots of fun. I think it's the only other sports game that I actually do like, and I kind of don't play a lot of sports games. But if you have this, give it a shot. If I would have said if this game actually still is available on on the mobile app stores. It was originally released with free-to-play with a premium package to unlock the full game and an online service with leaderboards and all that. Before Sega delisted the game, released a premium version for like 99 cents and then delisting the premium version. So if you have this game, you can re-download it anytime you want and play it. If you didn't, sorry, but you might just stick to the Nintendo Switch version of this game, which is pretty much the original. Now, that basically wraps up what I have to say about Sonic mobile games. there is a lot differing in quality, but overall, it was actually mostly good. Now then, like I said, there is other mobile games that, well, I didn't get around to actually talking about because I don't have the necessary devices, like Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games, same stick as the Tokyo Olympic Games. I don't have an iOS emulator for that. The Sonic Dash Club mobile game, which has the exact same combo system, before it was shipped with Sonic Dash to Sonic Boom, and of course the Sonic Java games, but I do not want to shift through a lot of Java games of Sonic. This Blue Hedgehog has a lot of Java games, and they've already been covered on other channels before. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and see you soon!